Hello and welcome to Just a Dude podcast. I'm Nathan, your host, here to review the top news stories from February 21st to February 28th. Today is February 28th, and we're going to cover a wide range of events, including international meetings, economic movements, and natural phenomena. Let's get started with the very first story. Today, February 28th, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is meeting U.S. President Donald Trump at Trump Tower. According to NPR, this marks their first in-person encounter since Trump's inauguration. The meeting follows Trump's recent statements labeling Zelenskyy a dictator and suggesting Ukraine initiated the conflicts with Russia, comments that align with some Kremlin narratives. The discussion occurs as Trump prioritizes immigration and tariff policies in his administration. Zelenskyy, leading a nation still at war with Russia, likely aims to confirm the level of U.S. support going forward. Online platforms like X show varied reactions, with some viewing it as a strategic move by Trump and others seeing it as a publicity stunt. The timing stands out. Trump emphasized his America First agenda just days ago, yet now hosts a foreign leader. Analysts suggest it could be an attempt to enhance his diplomatic image or explore a peace deal shaped by his preferences. Zelenskyy, experienced in high-stakes talks, is expected to approach the meeting cautiously. The outcome remains uncertain. Trump's focus on bold gestures contrasts with Zelensky's need for concrete commitments, making this a significant event to watch. It's the leading story today due to its potential impact on international relations. Updates may clarify whether this yields cooperation or tension. One thing's for sure, this war definitely needs to end. Also today, a movement called the Economic Blackout is taking place. CNN and Today.com report it was initiated by John Schwartz, known online as the one called Jai, as a mindfulness advocate. He's urged people since early February to refrain from spending for 24 hours on February 28th, targeting major retailers like Walmart and Target to protest corporate greed and economic disparity. The campaign has gained support from groups like We Are Somebody, linking such as labor rights, according to PBS News. Social media, particularly X, reflects enthusiasm, with users promoting it as a way to demonstrate consumer influence. It's positioned as a collective stand against large corporations. However, its effectiveness is debated. Economists note that a single day without spending is unlikely to significantly disrupt the economy. Other data indicates Target's foot traffic dropped 7.9% and Walmart 4.8% this month, suggesting the blackout may align with existing trends rather than drive major change. The initiative highlights public frustration with economic systems. Though its long-term impact appears limited, major companies have weathered similar actions before. Participation is encouraged as a symbolic gesture, but whether it shifts corporate behavior remains to be seen. It's a notable effort drawing attention today, but will most likely go down as nothing more than a social stunt. Tonight, a 7-planet alignment will be visible, as reported by The Guardian. This rare event, dubbed a planetary parade, includes Mercury joining Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune in a straight line across the sky. This will not occur again until 2040, making it a significant astronomical moment that you don't want to miss. The best viewing opportunity is after sunset, looking west away from urban light pollution. According to astronomer Balahi, this applies to regions like the US, UK, and Australia. Social media shows people organizing viewing events, highlighting interest in the alignment. While visually striking, the planets won't be equally bright. Uranus and Neptune may require binoculars due to their faintness. The event underscores the scale of our solar system and occurs naturally without dramatic effects. It's an uncommon alignment that stands out for its rarity. Observers are encouraged to take advantage of clear skies tonight. The phenomenon may increase public interest in astronomy, though no immediate scientific developments are tied to it. It's a noteworthy occurrence for those tracking natural events, visible with minimal equipment. AP News reports that President Trump is threatening tariffs on Canada and Mexico again, and these are set to begin next week. He connects the policy to immigration concerns, asserting it will pressure both nations to enhance border security. The announcement aligns with his administration's focus on stricter controls. The proposal has raised alarms among businesses dependent on cross-border trade and labor, such as agriculture and manufacturing, per NPR. Social media on X notes potential price increases with references to higher costs for goods like avocados. Industries with supply chains linked to these countries are preparing for the impact. The policy shift follows closely after Trump's recent international engagements, marking a rapid pivot to trade action. Critics argue it risks an economic backlash given Canada and Mexico's trade significance, while supporters see it as a necessary stance. The decision's speed has fueled debate over its feasibility. The tariffs' effect hinge on implementation and response from affected nations. They could alter costs for consumers and businesses alike, raising questions about economic stability. This is definitely a developing story with broad implications, reflecting Trump's assertive approach to the policy. Previously, when Trump announced these tariffs, it was to help engage a conversation and to get some negotiations going on border security. It's yet to be seen if this is still the case with this latest round that's supposed to go into effect. Only time will tell. New speculation surrounds Thomas Matthew Crooks, the man who attempted to assassinate Trump in July of 2024. Private investigator Doug Hackman, cited on X, suggests Crooks may not have acted alone, potentially involving accomplices or a wider network. This theory has resurfaced 7 months after the incident. Crooks was killed during the attempt, and the FBI has released limited details since. The current buzz questions whether there were unreported connections, possibly to intelligence or criminal groups. Online discussions express frustration over the lack of official updates. The timing of this renewed interest coincides with Trump's return to office, prompting theories about political motives or delayed disclosures. No concrete evidence supports the accomplished claim yet, leaving it as speculation. The uncertainty keeps the case in the spotlight. Theories range from a lone actor to a coordinated effort, but without official confirmation, it's really unresolved. The public's call for clarity persists, given the gravity of the event. It's a story that continues to evolve, driven by interest and unanswered questions. Will this be another Las Vegas where we get no closure, or will the new administration be more transparent? I guess we'll all see. Moving to India, Hindustan Times reports that a leopard was captured near the Reserve Bank of India's currency printing facility in Mysuru, India. The animal, first sighted at the Infosys campus, evaded capture for 20 days before being secured. It had caused significant local concern. The leopard's presence led Infosys to shift employees to remote work, and authorities used traps and drones to apprehend it. Social media features images and comments about the unusual situation. The incident highlights interactions between wildlife and urban expansion in that area. The operation's duration, 20 days, underscores the challenge of managing such incidents. Residents near the facility were understandably alarmed by the leopard's proximity. It raises broader questions about wildlife encounters in India's growing tech regions. The successful capture, without reported injuries, concludes a tense period. It reflects ongoing tensions between development and natural habitats. The story has drawn attention for its blend of nature and modern infrastructure, making a notable event today. Since February 26th, rapper Lil Baby has been in federal custody. According to Trends on X, authorities link him to the 4PF gang and a shooting in Atlanta last summer that killed 2 teenagers during a music video shoot. Atlanta police attribute the violence to gang rivalry over territory. The incident occurred when Lil Baby filmed in an area controlled by a rival gang, leading to the fatal confrontation. Law enforcement has charged him and others, signaling a crackdown on gang activity. Reactions range from support for his release to calls for accountability. As a prominent artist known for his songs like Drip Too Hard, his legal troubles contrast with his public success. Federal gang charges carry significant penalties, and the case may extend over time. It sheds light on Atlanta's persistent gang issues and their intersection with entertainment. The tragedy of the teens' deaths anchor the story's severity. Whether Lil Baby directed the actions or was caught in a broader circumstances remains under investigation. It's a developing situation with notable cultural and legal ramifications. Again on February 26, Pakistan revealed a plan to establish a national crypto council to legalize digital assets like Bitcoin. The country has approximately 20 million cryptocurrency users, prompting efforts to regulate this growing sector. The move aims to formalize a largely unstructured market. The initiative responds to high transaction fees, unregulated trading, and demands from the Financial Action Task Force to address money laundering risks. The Council will introduce licenses and taxation frameworks. Online reactions suggest optimism about potential economic benefits. With 20 million users, Pakistan's crypto community is substantial, but regulation faces challenges. Cryptocurrencies often thrive outside of government oversight, which could limit compliance. Success might position Pakistan as a leader in this space, though skepticism persists about enforcement. The policy reflects a global trend toward integrating digital assets into national economies. Its outcome depends on execution and public response. It's a significant step with the potential to influence Pakistan's financial landscape. Yesterday, on February 27th, the U.S. Department of Justice, led by Attorney General Pam Bondi, released what they called the first phase of declassified files related to Jeffrey Epstein. These documents, totaling about 200 pages, include flight logs, a redacted contact book, an evidence list, and a list of measures tied to the late financier and convicted sex offender. The release came after Bondi promised to deliver transparency on Epstein's activities, which involved the sexual exploitation of over 250 underage girls across his properties in New York, Florida, and elsewhere. However, much of what has been made public has already surfaced in prior lawsuits or leaks, leaving many anticipating more significant revelations disappointed. The rollout of these files took an unusual turn when conservative influencers were seen leaving the White House on February 27th holding binders labeled The Epstein Files, Phase 1. Bondi had hinted on Fox News the day before that flight logs and names would be included, though she stressed redactions would protect victims' identities. Despite the hype, a review showed heavy redactions and largely repeated information, prompting questions about whether the documents were ever classified or if this was more of a symbolic gesture. Bondi herself acknowledged the limited scope, noting she'd only received a fraction of the requested materials from the FBI. Things escalated yesterday when Bondi sent an open letter to FBI Director Kash Patel, accusing the agency of withholding thousands of pages of Epstein-related documents. She demanded the full and complete files be delivered to her office by 8 a.m. this morning, citing a prior request that wasn't fully honored. Patel responded on X, promising a thorough investigation into any gaps and vowing to uncover any hidden records for public release. By the morning of February 28th, it wasn't clear if the additional documents had been handed over, leaving the situation unresolved as Bondi's deadline passed. The Epstein file release has stirred mixed reactions. Some see it as a step toward accountability for a case that's long fascinated the public due to Epstein's ties to powerful figures. He died by suicide in 2019 while awaiting trial. Others, especially on X, call it a letdown, arguing the lack of new bombshells fails to match the buildup from Trump's administration, which had pushed transparency as priority. With Bondi and Patel signaling more phases to come, the story is still unfolding, but for now, it's a partial glimpse into a dark chapter that's already seen years of scrutiny. The next batch, if it arrives, might shift the narrative, or just deepen the debate. Finally, on February 28th, AP News reported an investigation into the death of actor Gene Hackman. Known for films like The French Connection and Superman, Hackman passed away at age 95, prompting authorities to examine the circumstances. Details remain limited at this stage. Hackman lived privately in recent decades, making his death a sudden headline. While natural causes align with his age, the term investigation has sparked curiosity. Some reflect a mix of grief and speculation among fans, though no evidence suggests anything unusual or foul play. As an acclaimed actor with multiple awards, his loss resonates widely. The investigation may be standard procedure, but its announcement alongside other news has drawn notice. His contributions to film remain a celebrated legacy. Further information may clarify the situation, likely confirming a routine inquiry. For now, it's a notable story marking the end of an era in cinema. Hackman's passing closes a significant chapter in the entertainment history. Well, that wraps up our coverage of the top 10 news stories for this last week. We've spanned global politics, economic efforts, and notable passings. This has been Just a Dude Podcast. I'm Nathan, thanking you for listening. Join me next time for more updates. If you liked this episode, please make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and leave a comment. We're on all social media platforms and love to interact with our fans. If you saw something in this story you want to comment about, if you have guests that you would like to join the show, or if you have other topics you'd like us to cover in the future, please hit us up on email or through social media. We really appreciate your listening, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.